Welcome to the Astrid Mueller Show. My name is Astrid Mueller. I got well from breast cancer stage 4, and I wrote the book Permission to Sparkle. I'm on a mission to inspire people around the world to what's possible. Today, I'm here with a special Integrative Wellness Leader Talk series where I interview leaders in wellness and we get to discover ideas to support ourselves: body, mind, emotion, spirit, soul. Get ready for an inspiring interview and to discover what's possible. Welcome, everyone, to an interview where we talk about integrative wellness. I am super excited to have a very special guest here with us. She has so many years of experience in the wellness field, and she has all these really cool things that she does. She's an influencer, and she's all about creating comprehensive wellness. Her background is to empowering teams and organizations to recover harmony, restore productivity, and build resilience with dynamic, results-driven keynotes and interventions. So she's also a speaker. She has a workplace wellness program. She does a global workspace wellness summit that she's run for 7 years, I believe. You have a magazine. You have all these really cool things. Welcome, Joyce Odidison. I'm so happy to have you.
Hi, Astrid. Good to be here. Thank you so much for having me and for what you're doing and building in that whole space of wellness, because I think it's just so important for us to look at wellness from different angles and different perspectives.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you. It's an honor to have you. So, would you tell our watchers and listeners just a little bit more in your own words? I just grazed upon your big scope of what you're doing. What are the cool things that you currently bring to the planet in regards to wellness?
Well, I think underneath everything is the foundation of 9 dimensions of well-being. Understanding that wellness is holistic. It's very, very intrinsic to who we are and how we live on the planet. And so my wellness improvement system, and I call it WIS model, is focused on 9 areas. So the spiritual, the social, emotional, occupational, intellectual, environmental, we look at the financial, the physical, and we also do the interpersonal, which is nobody else does, but with my background as a conflict analyst, I see a lot of the unwell is coming up and presenting in the interpersonal dimension. That's where people are. So it doesn't matter how my day is going. If you are in my interpersonal network, you're going to find out, right? If I'm happy, I'll be smiling at you. If I'm grumpy, if I'm unhappy and I'm sad with my life, I'll be grumpy. So we experience each other in our interpersonal network, and humans are social beings. We experience each other. And that actually tells us when you hear people make comment, oh, that person is constipated, or that person's got, or this person woke up on the wrong side of the bed. That's how we experience people, and we're trying to make sense of it. Why not just say that's what it is? And so from the core of the model is the interpersonal, and it shows how each of these dimensions, all the 8 prongs, are actually aligned with that interpersonal space and how it affects back and forth. If you're not doing well spiritually, then you're not going to be doing well socially, and then it's going to impact your interpersonal. The same if you're not doing well intellectually, you don't feel that you're smart and beautiful and you have something to offer to the world, then it's going to impact how you engage with others, whether you make eye contact or whether you speak your truth, or you are emotionally strapped, where you're finding yourself, oh, I can't emotionally, I don't feel strong, I have anxiety, I'm fearful, I'm worried. And it's beyond, this is not even going into the realm of mental health. And that is a whole other conversation we could have. But most of these things impact our health and well-being, our emotional well-being, our spiritual well-being, our social and our mental well-being. So some of the things that I do an emotional wellness cleanse. It's a 30-day emotional wellness cleanse. We have it on right now at Really, we started every January. We take it to the next level, and we make it available to our clients at a very, very low rate. It's like 90% off. So that's one of the things we
Wow.
do just to get people ready for that year, because emotions are how we experience the world. And
Mhm.
when we're not well, or we're not able to master our emotions, we're all over the place. Everything triggers us, and we just become basket cases. So those are some of the things. Yes.
Thank you so much. I love your lens of looking at wellness, and I find it fascinating how we all have our own stories and our own unique approach to wellness, right? And you just really elaborated on the interpersonal aspect. And you do a lot for companies with your workplace wellness program. Can you give us an example of clients who are not aware of you yet and what problems they might have? And then they come to you, and then what happens?
Well, that's not a hard question. We've been in business for 27 years, and
Yeah.
most clients, they find out about us until they have a problem, and they're looking, what do we do? How do I stay at work? How do I get along better with my boss? How do I get my employees to do their work? How do we stop this toxic energy in our workplace? The burnout, people are struggling. Employees are not sleeping. Employees are feeling sick on the way to, they'll say to me, Joyce, I feel queasy just going to work. I'm in the car, I'm crying, I'm puking, just to strengthen myself to get into work. And so these things are really happening because we have bullying happening at work. We have harassment happening at work. We have people being discriminated and mistreated, and people have to work. They need to work. They need to go to work so they could earn an income. But the mere ability to go into work and work peacefully is sometimes threatened, and not possible for many, many people. So this is
Yeah.
where we come in. I'm a conflict analyst by training, and I get called in for those difficult conflicts. And I come in, and usually it's like Sarah and Jack are not talking, or this employee is not getting along with the boss. So they complain about a challenge. And so I go in and I find that the team is not doing well. So this is just one symptom of what's
Yeah.
going on. And so we do an analysis, and my ISR into recovery model that we use is we go in and we look at the intervention, we look at the stabilization, and we look at the revitalization of the organization. So being able, and then that allows us to do that 9-dimensional scope assessment for them, and then be able to identify some of the underlying well-being risks so they can see what's happening in the organization. They can have real-time data on where people are at and which dimensions are they struggling with, because you may call me in and say, oh, we need resilience building, but really what people need is good conversations, right? They're not having good conversations with their bosses. They lack good relational skills among each other. And so I may come into the resilience, but you really are not touching on the problem. You're just dealing with a surface issue. And that's usually what my clients are saying to me. We love your approach because we would not have known this problem existed. We would not have known that this is where we could actually make some changes that would deal with the resilience. Because the reason why people have no resilience is because they're struggling, they're watching their back, they're always scared, they worry, they spend so much time just trying to
Yeah.
survive in the workplace, so they
Yeah.
burn out a lot quicker.
Wow. So I love that you're mentioning you have the system that you set up, and that is your specific system that you use with your company of 9-dimensional wellness checkup points, right? So it almost sounds like you're really looking for comprehensive look first, and then also looking for the root cause of the issues. Is that right then?
Yes, our model, the WIS model is also an assessment. We have it as a booklet instrument, but we also have it as a digital platform
Wow.
where
Wow.
our companies can come in and deploy assessment with one click for the entire team to do. So we're doing that workplace and team recovery, looking at what's going on, what you should be paying attention to, and what you should be actually which problems you should be solving first, because sometimes it's so monumental. Because, oh, Joyce, we have workplace toxic workplace, we have our leaders aren't doing well, or employees aren't doing well. And you know what they say? Shit falls down. If the leaders aren't doing well, it's quite it's not a far stretch to expect the employees not to be doing well. And so we have to look at, and part of that is also looking at developing your leaders so they can be resilient, so they know how they have that resilience, conflict resilience. I'm teaching a course next month with the University of Winnipeg here in my city. And this course is on doing conversations. So it's talking about resilient conversations and how to have those difficult conversations and develop that emotional resilience and that conflict resilience and communication resilience for those tough conversations. Because the reality is we are all going to have tough conversations. In one of my posts, I said, wouldn't it be nice to be in a world where we never have to have tough conversations? But alas, we don't live in that world. So we have to equip ourselves to have those conversations and how to transform them into a creative dialogue, opportunity for exploration, for learning and sharing and growth. And that's where most people get stuck, because our emotions are so wound up. And instead of being able to look at these opportunities and say, so this person is misbehaving, not being disrespectful at work. I wonder what their strengths are. I wonder how we can transform that energy into positive outcomes at work. Instead of like, I want to give them a spank. They're horrible. So it's when your emotions are well, you're able to look at, what are we missing? What's going on? What's
Yeah,
the trigger?
the neutral zone, right? And not in the reactive zone and
Exactly.
painted and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
I love what you're doing. And I love that what I'm hearing you say is that companies definitely know that they need to bring Joyce in or somebody like you when there is like really toxic stuff happening or mobbing, or you just really feel that people are unhappy. Do you also do preventative work? I know you have this whole wellness program for companies, right? Do you sometimes have companies that bring that in because they just really want to take care of their employees and like support them with comprehensive wellness? Is it also a match for that?
Absolutely. But unfortunately, what we see is the bulk of our clients wait until something happens. They need a motivator. And often the motivator isn't something nice. Something difficult has to happen. Maybe a difficult transition. Maybe they've seen an employee committed suicide, or they've had some kind of difficulties. That's when they're like, oh, we need to do an assessment. We need to figure out how people are doing. We need to and it would be so much cheaper if every organization decide, you know what, every 6 months or every 24 months, we're going to do a 9-dimensional wellness assessment of our team, identify it is so much more cost effective, identify where we can be proactive and what we can. And this is why we built the digital platform and created the corporate wellness dashboard. So organizations can be more encouraged to do proactive work. Because, I mean, when they call me in crisis, I make more money. Let's face it. So, but I see the suffering that employees have had gone through. I go into situations and things will happen in 10 years. But 10 years? I'm like, what? Wow, we have the capacity to suffer for so long is mind-boggling. How long we can stay in toxic situations and suffer, and we see employees getting sick, employees getting cancer, employees getting mental health breakdown, because not everybody have the resilience to deal with it. So I get called in when people, we've had a couple of people had to go on stress leave for mental health. We've had some bad, exit surveys. Our executives have been told there's been a breach, there's a leak, why do we wait that long? What we find, unfortunately, organizations they're not motivated to do the proactive work, unfortunately, which is where they would save so much, and the employees would save the employees the heartaches.
So I'm saying awesome because we are here in this interview to inspire people around the world how we can actually proactively optimize wellness. So I love that you're here and I love that we can share this. And I love that you hinted at so many things that literally turn into a huge, not just emotional and physical and really terrible life situations potentially, but also financial mountain. You just
Yes.
hinted at a few things. People can get sick, absent leave. You can have employees with cancer. That would be like the worst case scenario or one of them. And so we can start now. So what does it look like when somebody comes to you and they're like, "Ooh, let's do something amazing for our employees"? What does a workplace wellness program from you look like? What does it cover? Is it like a thing where they participate online, or they're like wellness classes, or what happens?
It's a bunch. There's no one size fit all workplace wellness program. So the first thing we do is we put them through a comprehensive 9-dimensional wellness assessment. We want to know where the struggles are, where the challenges are, where the well-being risks are, so those can be identified and mitigated. So your program is going to be built around your well-being risks. So we identify your well-being risks and we build your program around that, and then we cover it around with all the 9 dimensions. So we build an extra layer of security around your program. Now we're going. So what we do is we have the wellness competencies. We teach 12 wellness competencies that build up and support the 9 dimensions of wellness. So based on your overall assessment for your organization, we would know what to deploy and which program. And what we find is that many organizations have workplace wellness programs, and it's becoming more and more common now to have a workplace wellness program. But what we're seeing is many times they have the program and they just create a whole bunch of stuff and they tell employees, oh, we have all these things for wellness. And guess what happens? Human brains are not created for that. Anytime you give us more than three, we don't know how to choose. We get overwhelmed. And so our program is structured in that every month we roll out one wellness competency teaching. And that teaching is an overarching competency. It aligns to a dimension of wellness. It aligns to an assessment. Then there are training elements on it. There's wellness conversation pieces on it, interactive dialogues, whether you have a facilitator come out to your workplace to do it. And so one of the programs we do is our wellness facilitator certification training, where we train wellness practitioners on the program so they can, wherever they are in the world, they can be the ones to go in and facilitate the in-person session. And so what this also allows the organization, for instance, some organizations already have yoga, they already have aerobics, they already have mindfulness, they already have breathing, but it's not aligned with a wellness competency. It's not aligned with a dimension of wellness. There is no structure around it. So people just do it. Well, okay, I'll do that today. Oh, well. But when we find what we've seen with research tell us that when people have structure, humans survive better with structure. And it's same in the wellness programs. So we've created this unique structure of our program where they know each month. So the month of January, we're focusing on integrity as a wellness competency. And that includes passion, it includes vision, it includes self esteem, personal style, it includes faith, hope, spiritual well being. And it's all aligned with that filling up who you are so you can be ready to take on the year. Because we set ourselves up with all these resolutions that we're going to do, but we're not filling our cup. So we have the sustenance to move forward, and you have your organizations roll out their annual plan. But did you fill up your employees so they can sustain and they can be resilient and they have what they need to do it? So that's what we do in January. We do that whole integrity, building up wellness competencies. And so employees are now able to step out, fill up, and they know all the pieces that they're doing in the month of January is integrity based, and they know why. People need meaning and purpose. Adult learners need meaning and purpose. Tell them this is why we're doing that. So you have what you need and you have a structure for what you need. And then we go into social wellness. In February, we focus on responsible communication as a competency. Now that I'm well, let me make sure you're well and you're communicating and we're good together. And so we move through the 12 competencies. So each month of the year, we focus on one wellness competency and we go deeper in that year. We can go deeper in that month. Over that 4-week period of the month, we go deeper into the competencies, understanding how the competencies help us to unfold and become better people and be better employees, better parents, better spouses. And that's how we do our program. And we find the intake, the uptake, and the participation skyrockets.
That's amazing. It sounds so lovely and so meaningful. I love that you have really deep meaning built into it. Like I can feel how inspiring that can also be for people to just really like self-reflect on things, and especially if you get them all on board to really feel that, wow, my employer cares for me. Like I remember when I was in corporate for a little while, like sometimes you just didn't feel like you were fully like recognized. And it sounds like that you're really helping them do this comprehensive side out support. That is amazing. So because my interview here, I want to inspire people as well for themselves. If they're not decision makers in companies right now, how can they optimize their wellness? If you take your lens of your 9-dimensional view or the 12 areas that you thought about, what do you think or see would be most beneficial to start, like something that they could do right now for their personal wellness to get to a next level of wellness?
That's a good question, because people always ask me that when I say I work with corporate, and I said, it's people in corporations. So it's the same strategy. Think of yourself as multidimensional, and don't think that you should focus all your energy in being well in one area, because you will find that you start depleting energy in other areas. So we go into a wellness deficit in a particular area, but we're doing really well in another area. Life is a system. And where you focus your energy, and that's where your passion lies, it's important to focus on your whole self and recognize, come up with a plan for yourself each month of the year. Do some deep work on one area of your life, and anyone can go and take our wellness assessment. It's on our website where they can take and I can send you the link later, so they can do the wellness assessment and see how well they're doing and get the ability to optimize their well-being and be at a place where they feel well, they feel whole, and they know. Actually, what I found with individual clients, not that we and all clients are all working in organizations. The only difference is that the organizations are sponsoring their programs. For individuals that are not working with organizations and they don't have that sponsorship, they need to do their own work, because nobody's going to come and do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And not all organizations actually develop or invest in their employees. So it's important then for you to have your own framework. And that's some of the things that we do. So I've developed some well-being prompts and micro skills to boost wellness competency development. You can check out our blogs and our website, and I'll send those links to you, where we have lots of free resources and opportunities for you to look at yourself from that whole person perspective and do your work. Because you know what, Astrid, one of the things I see right now is so many people are sick. There are so many people getting ill. And it's almost, daily you get, oh, pray for this person, they're sick. Pray for that person. You're like, what is going on? We're not prepared for the stresses and the changes that's happening. And we need to develop our resilience so that we can sustain our well-being through the craziness of our world.
Exactly. I love you have so much inspiration in what you're saying. So I'm hearing for you that it is important that we take our own responsibility to look at our whole well-being, and see ourselves as a whole system of well-being. That's one big thing. I'm also hearing the proactive piece too, and that's also from my own book that I wrote. I use curiosity as one of the keys for everything, right? So if we put on our curiosity hat and say like, oh, I wonder what I can optimize, right? Then you already lean into what can I do, right? And this is also I'm doing these interviews. So I'm encouraging listeners to just ask yourself for a moment, like, what do you feel if you think of yourself as a whole system of well-being? Like, what is the first thing that pops up? Like, oh, I really would love to do this for myself right now. And it's to all of your systems that you mentioned, right? Because I find like it comes from our heart. Like we actually know, like we will know which direction, what needs something. If you're totally unhappy in one area, it will show up, right? And so I love that. Thank you so much for all of this. Please let us know, like, where can people find you? What's the best place to learn more? And I know you have more than one website. Let us hear it.
I think the best place to learn more of me, people can, of course, connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, but my website's joyceodidison.com, and my corporate website where I do work with organizations. And if you're really looking at developing, becoming a practitioner of wellness, getting into workplace wellness, which is an area that's growing tremendously because it's a $1 trillion industry. There we see you would go to interpersonalwellness.com where we can, and that will lead you to assessment.interpersonalwellness.com where you can interact with the assessment and understand why recovery is important, why we need to be proactive with our well-being, and so we don't get to that very expensive place of recovery, because it takes years and months of our whole life trying to recover, and it is so much more wisdom in being proactive.
Yeah, totally. And also to say that before we close out, I find there's so much magic when we focus on joy. I'm all about that, right? And like yesterday I had a marketing workshop for different businesses, and I actually made it part of that to realize that when we focus on joy, which leads to well-being, that brings energy. It connects us to our passion. It connects us to then productivity. So then you have, if we bring it to your topic of workplace wellness, when we start by creating joyful employees proactively, with our curiosity, how can we make our employees extra happy, right? Then you have amazing companies that have excited employees that are productive, that create amazing output, and your clients will know it because when you have happy employees, that radiates out, as opposed to kind of different experiences. I've been to companies too. We all have, like, where you have negative customer experiences, right? And you talk bad about the company and like so there's a big opportunity to be proactive. Huge.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much for having been here, Joyce. It was a great pleasure, and I am looking forward to hearing any comments, any questions from our viewers and listeners. Feel free to reach out directly to joyceodidison.com. You'll find her there. Or ask us anything with the link below for further questions and for more wellness access as well.
Excellent.
And you
take care. Be well. Bye.
With me. Thank you so much for watching or listening. Question: what did this spark in you today? Take one baby step and act on it. One small step can change your world and will ripple to others. The world really needs more sparkle. If you'd like more inspiration like this, come join us in our free Integrative Wellness Oasis on School. We are an amazing community of wellness lovers and professionals where you get to discover new ideas, resources, and also really cool virtual retreats. We love going on virtual cruises too. If you loved this episode, please share it with someone who might love this inspiration as well. Until next time, keep exploring and follow the sparkle.